Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here for the NBA main slate here on Sunday. We got a pretty solid 6-game slate. I do apologize for not uploading a video on Saturday. Was really busy throughout the day, just did not have any time. But yeah, back at it here for Sunday, so let's get right into analysis. So Harden here at 13.7. Obviously, Harden has been a great play basically every night. He did bust last game against Toronto for the first time in a long time. Chris Paul, they do expect him to play, but I would think they're going to limit him, probably to around like 20, 25 minutes if I had to guess. So I mean that does downgrade Harden a bit, but if enough value opens up and you feel comfortable plugging in Harden, I mean he's going to get you most likely 60 to 70 fantasy points with upside. So if you want to start your lineup with that, it's never a bad thing. I think he's pretty safe for cash games. Let's see, Donovan Mitchell. Like I said, he's really been stepping up his game here of late. He kind of was in a little sophomore slump, and then he's really turned it on here the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's just been on fire. The matchup against Minnesota, not the worst, not the best, but I think Donovan Mitchell definitely in play here at 8.8K. And then we get to Devin Booker here. So my favorite game by far here, we got the Phoenix Suns and the LA Lakers. Booker at 8.3. I know he's kind of been, let down, honestly, the last 4 games here. But especially in this matchup, I really like Devin Booker. Again, he's been involved in a few blowouts as well. But 8.3K, I think he has huge upside, especially in this matchup. So I do like Booker a lot. Doncic, it's just the price. I know Toronto, not the most appealing matchup, but 8.2K. He's also really stepped up his game here of late. So I think he's a pretty solid play. See, Chris Paul, like I said, there's no news yet on, if he's going to be on a minutes limit or what's going to be. But I'm probably going to stay away here from the first game back. I'll just take a wait and see approach to see how they're, how they're going to use him. And we got Rondo here, all about this play. I loved him against Minnesota. Got you 50 fantasy points. So hopefully you guys played him that night. Love him again here today. We got no Rondo, no LeBron. Rondo's going to play most of the game here. So I really like him here at 6.2K. Teague out, D Rose questionable. So if he misses again, then we could look to Jared Bayless. I mean, you never get excited about playing Jared Bayless, but played 40 minutes last game with no Derrick Rose. So you have to consider him. I mean, and he's been playing pretty solid. So I think it'd be a pretty solid value to play once again if D Rose does miss. See, Rubio, a little revenge game. They have been easing him back, though. He's not really seeing his full complement of minutes here, 24 and 23 minutes. So I'm going to probably pass until I see him playing more consistent minutes. Let's see. So Derek White, these San Antonio point guards, I think will definitely be in play. We got DeRozan and Rudy Gay listed as questionable right now. If one or both of them miss, that's a huge boost to Derek White, as well as the other point guards. Bryn Forbes, Patty Mills would also be in play. So we're going to have to kind of wait for news with DeRozan as well as Rudy Gay. The whole New York Knicks situation, obviously Moutier's out. Like I said, you literally cannot trust the Knicks point guard, so I just don't want to mess with it. Trier was the chalk with no Moutier, kind of busted. Just the minutes are so inconsistent. It was Trey Burke that actually had the big game. But then when everyone plays Trey Burke, it's Alonzo Trier that has the big game. So yeah, you definitely can take a shot on one of these guys or Nicotina. But it's just I don't know if I want to mess with that on the slate. Let's see. Other than that, I think we're good. Akobo here. So D'Anthony Melton out. Akobo picked up a start. He was playing consistent minutes, 28 and 31 minutes the last 2 games. If he's going to play close to 30 minutes again, in a great match here against the Lakers, I think LA Kobe is a pretty solid play here at 3.5K. He's not that, he doesn't have really a high ceiling, but for 3.5K, I think he's a pretty solid value play. Okay, let's move on to shooting guard. So Beal here at 9K, I think is going to go very low owned. San Antonio, though, has not been the same defensive team as they have been in the past. So I wouldn't mind taking a shot on Beal here. Again, I think he's going to go very under-owned on this slate. So I think he'll be sub 10%, definitely. DeRozan, obviously, we're waiting on news with him and Rudy Gay. If both of them miss, and Aldridge obviously gets a huge boost. And then, those guards, Derek White, Bryn Forbes, Patty Mills. So we'll wait for news there. Ingram, again, I want to try to get a lot of exposure to this game. Brandon Ingram seems too cheap. We also got Kyle Kuzma listed as questionable. If I had to guess, I would say Kuzma probably doesn't play. That would just give me all over Ingram and Rondo. Like I said, I really like this game, so really like Ingram there at 6.2K. Then we get to the Phoenix side. So the Phoenix small forwards. So we got T.J. Warren obviously out. So Kelly Oubre, Josh Jackson, and Mikal Bridges, have picked it up for Warren with one of Warren's been out. Oubre last couple games here, 35 and 31 minutes. We know Kelly Oubre in the past has not been reliable, but he's been a pretty solid and aggressive player off the bench. I do like him. I like Josh Jackson a lot. He's playing right around 30 minutes. He also has big upside. Mikal Bridges, doesn't have the most upside, but he's going to play a lot of the game, so I think he's okay for salary relief. But Oubre, Josh Jackson, definitely considering both those guys. Let's see. Satoransky, just been playing most of the game. 5.4K just seems too underpriced for him. Like I said, the Spurs are they're a pretty good matchup actually. So I think Satoransky pretty solid value play there at 5.4K. Dwayne Wade again. He's a high usage guy off the bench. He's gonna come out there and shoot the ball 10 plus times. The matchup here against the Knicks pretty solid. 4.8K seems too underpriced for Dwayne Wade. No one really gets excited about playing old man Dwayne Wade, but I think the salary definitely makes him in play here. Josh Hart, 4.5K. I would think if Kuzma misses, he'd probably see a few extra minutes. He's really been inconsistent, and 26, 20, and 21 minutes last 3 games. You don't really like to see that. I'm going to kind of wait for news with Kuzma before I consider Josh Hart. KCP, he's been seeing a little extra run, but you never really get excited about playing KCP, so I'll probably pass. Lance Stevenson here at 4.1K. He's going to be aggressive off the bench. Seems too cheap here, especially if Kuzma does miss too. That's just another. That's a lot of minutes to go around. So I think Lance would be a pretty solid value play there at 4.1K. All right, let's move on to small forward. Kawhi here at 9.7. He's pretty solid. The price is getting up there though, almost 10K. This game, I think it's kind of low owned, but this game definitely does still have some upside. I'm probably not going to go Kawhi's way today, but I think he's definitely in play today. And Kuzma, this is kind of big news as well. If he misses, again, a lot of those Lakers are going to be solid plays. So I'm gonna wait for news here with Kuzma. Aaron Gordon, so I liked him a lot against Washington. Played 39 minutes, catching 47 fantasy points. He's very up and down. So he's not for the faint of heart, but 6.6K definitely makes him in play here. So you definitely got to consider Aaron Gordon. Let's see, Ariza, Otto Porter, gonna play most of the game. Ariza just plays close to 40 minutes every single night. 6.2K, I think he's okay. Otto Porter, he's a high usage guy off the bench. Not been shooting the ball well the last couple of games, but he's definitely in play as well. Let's see, cheaper small forwards. Not a whole lot to like here. Bellinelli. If DeRozan, if Rudy Gay miss, he'll probably see a little extra run. He's scoring dependent though, so he definitely can lay a goose egg here. But I think he's in play if DeRozan and or Rudy Gay do miss. Let's see, Waiters. So he had a migraine. He missed the last game, but before that, played 22, 26, and 29 minutes. Me personally, though, I hate playing anyone from Miami. You just can never trust Eric Spoelstra. He runs such deep rotations, and they're just so wacky. He'll go with a hot hand. So I don't know if you can do it in cash games, but definitely in GPPs. 4.1K seems too cheap for Deanna Waiters if he's going to play those type of minutes. And then we get to Michael Beasley here. at 3.7. So I would be all about him if Kuzma misses. I would assume he would play 20 to 25 minutes would be my guess. So I would really like Michael Beasley. Again, I'm going to wait for a starting lineup and obviously wait to see if Kuzma plays. If Kuzma misses, I'm going to wait for a starting lineup too, and then kind of go from there. Other than that, I don't really see a whole lot down here. So let's move on to power forward. Let's see. So Aldridge here. If one or two of those, if one or two of Gay and DeRozan miss, Aldridge 8.4K seems too cheap. Washington, one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. They would, Aldridge obviously would be the go-to guy if one or both those guys do miss. So I think he would be a pretty solid play. Again, we're going to kind of have to wait for news. Siakam, Ibaka, kind of my same analysis every time. I like them a lot when Kawhi's out. When Kawhi's playing, I think they're okay. Just not, the best plays. Noah Vonleh here has been picking up a start at the center position the last couple games. I've been playing pretty well, but now a matchup against Hassan Whiteside, I don't think they're going to start Vonleh at the center. So maybe they start Enes Kanter and actually play him this time. You never know with David Fizdale. So I'm going to wait for a starting lineup. It's either, I would assume it's going to be Mitchell Robinson or Enes Kanter at the center. I really don't see Noah Vonleh being able to contain Hassan Whiteside. So I'm going to wait for a starting lineup with the Knicks. Fareed, if he's going to play 30-plus minutes, you got to consider him here. He's just a high-usage guy when he's out there. So I think he's definitely in play here at 5.9K. Let's see. Bender. So we got Ayton and Holmes, both listed as questionable as well. If both of them miss, then you could definitely look to Dragon Bender, who's picked up a start and played right around 30 minutes every single night. So I think he would be in play definitely if both those guys miss. Let's see. If Holmes plays and Ayton misses, I would like Holmes a lot. If Ayton plays and Holmes misses, either way, if Ayton just plays, I like Ayton a lot. I'll get to him in a bit. Other than that, I don't see a whole lot I'm liking, so I think let's move on to center. Let's see, Vucevic. So again, he's going to be going up against the likes of Kenneth Faried, Nene, Gary Clark, if they put him out there. Whoever it is, Vucevic should have his way. Obviously, there's slight concern here. It's at Houston. Maybe Orlando gets blown out. They obviously haven't looked that good. It's basically just been Vucevic and no one else. And Aaron Gordon's been up and down. But I think Vucevic, if the game stays close, he's going to have a massive game. 9.9K, the price is all the way up there, where I think the ownership is going to be very minimal. So I'm definitely considering playing Vucevic today. Gobert, I think he's okay. I'm just never, Cat, pretty aggressive on the offensive end. It does worry me about getting Gobert in foul trouble, so I think Gobert's okay. And then Cat here, again, at 10.5K. Just played Utah in 29 minutes, put up 60 fantasy points. He's been playing some great basketball. Utah, they have, centers have been doing pretty well against Utah. So I think Cat is in play here at 10.5K. Let's see, DeAndre Jordan, not a DeAndre Jordan guy. Whiteside, the price is starting to creep up there. He's had a couple back-to-back pretty solid games. Played 32 minutes, got 48 fantasy points. Then only played 22 minutes and got 36. So it's just the minutes with him. Obviously, he does have upside every once in a while, but I'm probably not going to go there on this slate. Ayton. So we're going to have to go on and wait for news. If him and Holmes do miss, again, it'll be Dragon Bender, and then that'll be a usage boost as well to Booker, Oubre, Josh Jackson, guys like that. If Ayton plays and he's going to see no minutes limit, I'm all about him at 6.6K. That's just way too cheap. So again, we kind of have to wait for a lot of injury news on the slate. So it is important to follow me on Twitter, guys. I'll have that in the link of the description for this video. I will give my thoughts as the news comes out throughout the day, so definitely really important to follow me. Let's see. So the Lakers centers. Let me go to LA really quick. So it's been Tyson Chandler, McGee, and Zubac. They kind of phased Tyson Chandler out of the rotation, as they should. I don't really see why he would be getting minutes. But McGee and Zubac kind of been splitting the center minutes here. McGee played 22 last game. Zubac played 21. So again, they're kind of splitting the minutes. I think you could take a shot at one of these guys in GPPs. Cash games, I don't know, but GPPs, both these guys definitely in play here at 4.5 and 4.8K. Phoenix, I know, has been terrible against defending bigs, would have Dragon Bender. So I think you definitely could take a shot on one of these guys for sure. If I had to pick between Zubac and McGee, probably be Zubac. He has shown more upside, and they have shown they want to give him a little extra run. So if I had to pick between those two, I think I would go with Zubac. As well as Kuzma, if he does miss, the Lakers do like running small ball a bit with Kuzma at the center, so that would just open up even more minutes. So I think the more and more I talk about it, the more and more I do like Zubac and McGee, both priced under 5K. Cantor, only if I get confirmation he's going to play. Maybe he starts this game because Whiteside obviously a pretty big center. If he picks up the start, then I would really like him at 4.7K, but you just never know with Dave Fizdale. Let's see. Other than that, Mitchell Robinson, maybe if he picks up the start, but he has shown in the past he gets in foul trouble a lot. Fouled out the last couple games here. But yeah, I probably don't want to take a shot at Mitchell Robinson. And yeah, I think that's about going to do it. So, a quick overview again of this slate. My favorite game, this late game here, Phoenix, LA. There shouldn't be no defense played. There's a lot of injuries on both sides of the ball. So I really, really like stacking this game. There's obviously more injury news we're waiting for. We got a couple of the Spurs guys with DeRozan as well as Rudy Gay. We got Chris Paul potentially playing. Let's see. We got who else are the injuries we're waiting for here? DeRozan, Chris Paul, Kuzma. Obviously, that's a big one. If he misses, a lot of those value Lakers are definitely in play. Obviously, Ayton Holmes. D Rose, if he misses, Jared Bayless would be a pretty solid value play. And I think that's all the main injury news we're really waiting for. Tyler Johnson, if he misses, maybe you could take a shot on a couple of those cheap Miami guys, but it's Eric Spoelstra. He'll probably just add another guy to the rotation. So yeah, that's kind of the news we're waiting for. And yeah, like I said, I really like stacking this late game here. So I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you have been enjoying the content, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section down below. It's also important to follow me on Twitter. I will put that in the description below. Get my thoughts and more news comes out throughout the day. And I'll be back for another video on Monday. So I will see you guys then.